what that success is like?
I think we'll touch on it a little bit, but it really will come down to just getting as ready as we can. I think you can maybe make too big a deal of that because everything's different. You know, playing in the ACC tournament, preparing for that, playing in the Virgin Islands or different places, you get a little feel of tournament. Now this will be different, and these guys have been waiting for this opportunity. But I think sometimes you can make too big a deal of your experiences, and I think sometimes that's the last thing the guys want to hear about. This is how it was when I played or when I coached. You know, you share the things that maybe are important, but we won't make too big of a deal out of it. Jason might, I won't. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone on the conference line with questions, go right ahead with Coach.
Can we fire away?
Okay, I'm going to mute the lines and we'll take questions from the media who are present.
Microphone.
The leader has muted your line. To unmute your line, press #6.
Yeah, Tony, John Tell, a guy who's kind of just improved and gotten better. I'm kind of wondering when you recruited, he was originally recruited by Coach Lato. Yep. I'm kind of wondering back to that time and like when you re-recruited him, I guess. What you kind of, if you just take me through that, if you could, and then maybe talk about just his overall like progression under you.
Yeah, I can remember. Obviously, when you get the job, I think that was the first thing that we did was call Tristan Spurlock and meet with Tristan and his parents, and then go meet with John Tell and his parents. And I can remember driving down and sitting in John Tell's living room and just saying, this is who I am. I know you don't know me. I know you have decisions, but our plan is to try to build this. I value. I knew his reputation was as a tenacious on-ball defender, and I said I really value that in the system of play that we're going to instill. And my hope is that having been a point guard, you'd honor your commitment and want to be part of this. And he, I think, was so excited to come to Virginia. Both of those guys were, but specifically about John Tell, he was really excited to be here, and I'm sure it was tough for him when Coach Lato, who had recruited him, wasn't going to be there. But I think when we met, and I think he saw what we were about, hopefully the sincerity and trying to build the program and what I valued, I think that helped. And I know he comes from a very good family, and they wanted him to get a degree from Virginia. That was first and foremost. So again, glad that it worked out with John Tell. He has improved year by year. He's really gone to work on just getting better. We talked about this before. Even on the defensive end, still trying to be as continuous as possible, but impose his will that way. And then offensively, working on being more under control, his touch on his drives around the basket, working on his free throws, his one dribble pull-ups. Still a work in progress, but he's had a very a good year. And every time out, he's going to be tested. When we play Florida, they've got terrific guards, and
Irving Walker.
Specifically Walker, who's very quick. So he'll have an important matchup. But as I told our guys last night, it's not John Tell versus Walker or Mike's got to go. We're going to have to do this one together. I thought against NC State we were a little we weren't as unified as maybe we had been in some of our past games where we played well. But John Tell, he's improved, and hopefully he'll take another step heading into his senior year.
Thanks.
Coach, congratulations, first of all. But secondly, can you make a comparison as far as program development at Washington State to this one, getting to the NCAA tournament, similarities, differences that you have had in both experiences?
Washington State, I think it was in our 4th year there that we went to the tournament. I was part of the building process. That was my first year as a head coach, and we had predominantly juniors in that class. So there are certainly some similarities, some guys that transferred, a lot of hard losses, tough times, but the guys that decided to stay, the core group of guys that stuck with it and went through some of the adversity, when they became upperclassmen, they showed the improvement, and then we had a pretty significant year, that 4th year, or my first year of coaching, head coach of it. And we didn't have to probably sweat it out quite as much as we did this year, but that's where it was you know, the similarities, I think, the maturity, the system took place, and the young guys got the experience.
Tony, when you had Malcolm, you could count on him most games to give you something tangible off the bench in terms of points, rebounds. The last couple of games, I don't think the bench has scored. Do you need Paul and Darion to, you know, give more than just hustle out there if the team's going to do well?
I think that would help us. You know, yeah, Malcolm, as you said, gave us some ball handling and some defensive abilities. Without him, we haven't had much contributions from the bench scoring-wise. Again, Darion and Paul are going to be called upon. They're going to get opportunities. And with a 7-man rotation, you know, if it's Paul sticking a jump shot or getting good looks, or Darion getting some finishes or making good defensive plays, that's important. The thing is, I think for those young guys, that we've got to convince them that they have to go out there and not be afraid to make a mistake. I think sometimes you go out there and I don't want to screw up. That can sometimes be your mentality when you're out there. And I think, again, they have to go out there and play with the freedom of trying to help the team, you know, not doing anything crazy, but they're going to be important, and we need everybody to give in this one. That was actually before we played Maryland. I said, this got to be, everybody's got to give us something. They do, whether it shows up in the stats or not. And with these 7 guys, we're going to need contributions from Paul and Darion and really, obviously, the other 5 guys.